Oh, that's awesome. Ooh, boy.
Oh my God!
This is a wake-up call. I need to get back in the gym. Oh, he's not hooked. Look at him go. These fish are different here. No way. Come here. Look at that thing run.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, look at that thing run and fight. God, it's so cold here. Let me ask you guys a question. Since when was Texas a cold place? I thought this was supposed to be a warm place, like the South where I live. I've been in Texas for about 3 days now, and it's gotten colder and colder each day. So we decided to hop on a plane, folks, and head back out to Texas. This is one of our favorite places to fish other than our home state of Alabama, and I intend on doing a lot of big bass fishing over the next 4 days. As you can see, we're standing in front of Googan HQ, and we're about to go in there in a minute. New and improved Googan HQ. We're talking about completely remodeled, completely sick, completely loaded, and we need to show you guys. After we do a quick tour of Googan HQ, we're gonna grab a bunch of stuff and head out to our lake destination and do some fishing. I promise you there will be big bass caught in this video. The only question is how big and how many. Let's get inside, shall we? Boom, brand new Googan HQ. I'm telling you guys, this place was completely renovated and remodeled to be like best Googan experience possible. This is not just your average store. I mean, sure, we have just complete walls filled with every single Googan baits in existence. We've got every single rod that we make. We've got every single hard bait, crappie lure, new product, you name it. Got it all. But we expanded the store and now we have all of our apparel, tons of apparel on the back wall that you can see in real life, put your hands on it. Some of the stuff up here hasn't even released to the public yet. But better than being just a store alone, this place is now like a Googan museum. And as we walk around a little bit, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Andrew, you've been a Googan Squad follower for a while, right?
Yes, I have.
Now, when I show you this little sequence right here of pictures, do you immediately remember it?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
good. But if you didn't, check this out.
Oh my God!
That's great.
That was a 10-pounder. You should have grabbed him.
Should have grabbed him. One of the best moments from Googan Squad history is immortalized with this little picture collage right here with the little button pusher. So if you ever come here, make sure you give old Alex Perrick a little ring. Got the bar area. Completely forgot about the bar area. I mean, I'm not sure why a storefront has a bar, but the real question is, why don't more storefronts have bars? Would that be a more fair question?
I agree, 100%.
I think if more stores had bars, more men would be excited to go shopping. Got the new Googan tank right here. This will be housing our new pet fish. Now, the water clarity right now is not great. We just assembled this. I was just in Texas. I was already here for a Googan week. We had John B up here, we had Lake Fork Guy, we had One Rod, and myself. And we filmed a bunch of content for the Googan Squad channel, so make sure you go check out that channel so you can see some of that content. But one of the things we did, this is kind of a sneak peek here, is we got the new tank set up. And there's actually fish in there. I'm not gonna show you guys because I don't wanna spoil it, but there are new pet fish in there right now. We've already fed them once, and there's actually like multiple different species of pet aquatic animals in there. So some more stuff to look forward to for sure. Now, as cool as HQ is, the new HQ is sick. I would highly encourage you guys to come by here anytime you can. You might just run into a Googan Squad member. We were up here all this week. We met a ton of subscribers. To all you guys that we met, thank you for coming out. Appreciate you. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is the new Googan casting reels. Now, I've had a green for a while. You guys have probably seen it on the channel. I've used it a ton, and it's been awesome for me. There that is, right out of the package. Thing is a work of art, just an absolute beauty. But what we have not had the pleasure of using much yet is the new gold right here. So I want to whip it out real quick. Look at that right there. Ooh, boy. Now I could bore you guys to death talking about every little feature. I'm not going to do that, but let me just say this thing is awesome. And I'm going to give you 3 of my favorite things about it. And it goes for the green reel as well. 1, the handles. These little ergonomic handles, they may not seem like the grip is a big deal, but on these reels, the ones that we specifically chose are so ergonomically smooth in your hands. Your thumb and your index finger can just grab them so easily. And you guys know how it is. When you're fighting a fish, you don't want to be slipping off or like struggling to grab onto the cranking handle. You got to be able to hold it and control it. Number 2, on both reels, the tension knob and the drag knob both have an audible click. That's your tension knob, then your drag is even louder. I don't know what it is about an audible click, but I like to have that on my reels. The third thing is the braking system. Now on the green reel, it only has the magnetic brakes, which is the super simple brakes. You just crank either lower or higher. But on the gold reel, there's actually a combo. You got the magnetic brakes right there. Then when you crack this thing open, you've got the centrifugal brakes as well. So it's just gonna give you more casting control. You can really dial this thing in, and I absolutely love that. Now with these reels, they come in different ratios, gear ratios, different reeling speeds. So you got the reaction, which is 6.2 to 1. That's a nice cranking ratio right there. It's not very fast. The go-to gear ratio, that's gonna be your fast but not too fast. That's 7.3 to 1, and that's kind of become like the standard. Then you've got the muscle, and that's your 8.1 to 1. This thing is for frog fishing, for flipping and pitching, punching. So we've got something for everybody. We're hopeful to have these bad boys available for purchase by maybe the end of May, but let's just say they're coming soon. Now, of course, me and Andrew have special access, okay? We get to take a bunch of these and we get to put them on rods. We get to head out to one of the best bass fishing lakes in Texas, and I cannot wait to put some line on these bad boys and go catch some big fish. But before we do that, we have to stock up on a few lures, and I got a question for somebody who might know a thing or two about this lake. So right here, we got my main man, Jordan Spencer from Colorado Outdoors. How are you doing, buddy?
We're doing good.
Now here's the thing. You are the man who currently owns the lake record at this place where we're going. So give me just one piece of fishing advice.
Grande clutch.
Grande clutch. Yeah, that sounded very confident when you said that. Is that what you caught the lake record on?
Lake record's on a Grande clutch, 12 pounds, 8 ounces.
Dude, I like it. I'm a big clutch guy, so that makes me very happy to hear that. Good. This man right here, Brad Letsom, and you caught a 12-pounder with me the last time we fished this lake on a Grande clutch. Wow. So I think you would probably give that same endorsement then, right?
Absolutely. Every time I go fishing at the property now, Grande clutch comes out.
Well, something tells me we're not going to have a hard time finding Grande clutches. Guys, I just went a little grocery shopping real quick. Just grabbed a few things. They're for a few different videos. So there's gonna be a lot of content coming from this lake soon. So I hope you guys are subscribed and liking these videos. But we're gonna grab a bunch of these Googan reels. We're gonna put line on them. Gonna put them on some Googan rods. And we're gonna use some of these lures and some other ones that we're gonna get off camera. And we are gonna have one mission, and that is to use these reels, put them into real life action. And at the end, we're gonna kind of give our thoughts on how they performed. See you guys there. All right, folks, we've made it to the lake and we have assembled our Googan combos. Check those out right there. I mean, I just don't know if it gets any prettier than that. We actually paired up the green reel with the green rod and the gold reel and the gold rod. It's time to launch one of these little boats to get after some big fish, and I'll kind of talk about the reels a little bit as we fish. Not gonna be a super boring, in-depth review, more of just like a once over, and most importantly, we need to catch some big fish with these things. All right, little boat. Good to see you again. Oh boy, we've got a situation. Dang it, I think I'm so heavy that it won't move now. This is a wake-up call. I need to get back in the gym. I'm gonna start with the old green boy here. So what we got is the green go-to, right? That's the go-to reel. So that's a 7.3 to 1 gear ratio. And I actually paired that with a green go-to rod, go figure. So we're actually kind of pairing things up the way we need to. Now I think we put what, 17 pound on this?
Yes.
17 pound fluoro, pretty standard. I think, 15 to 17 is kind of my comfort zone. Might even go up to 20 in a situation like this. But obviously I got a zinger on there right now, a little spinnerbait. You guys can see the water's a little stained and there's a little bit of chop, a little bit of wind. So spinnerbait always jumps out of my mind during these conditions. I mean, look how much flash that thing's putting off. If you're a fish, you can feel that and you can see it. I'm making casts into the wind, by the way, and we're having really no trouble with backlashes. Now, I've done a little bit of tuning to this off camera. Andrew actually was using it a minute ago. Worked out a couple of the kinks for me. But this is a great little shallow water stick or grass combo right here. I mean, the 7.3 to 1 gear ratio, I mean, that's kind of fast, but it's kind of standard nowadays, you know. It's good all around. You can do anything with it. And this go-to rod's got enough backbone to help get a fish out of there, but also I can cast, and I got some sensitivity. It's one of those combos that could cover you in about 95% of your situations as a bass fisherman. Ooh, ooh, I just had a nice bite, man. Yeah, nice bite. Right by that turtle who just refuses to leave his perch. He's a proud, proud turtle. That's the first bite of the day. We're waking right there. The spinnerbait though is such a great lure. Pre-spawn, shallow, structure like this. When the water's dirty, it's even better. Then those blades and that thump can really excel. What if? Just crank one right here.
That'd be insane.
Hey, I guarantee there's some this shallow. We just saw one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at him fight. Oh, I like this kind of bass. Get him in the boat.
Let's go, dude.
So that fish was literally in inches of water.
Yeah.
You see how shallow it gets right here. I mean, he was like right there. All right, not a giant, but man, you gotta love that aggressive shallow bite. It's so awesome. Beautiful fish. It's like every fish out here. This is one of the smaller fish you're gonna catch out here. It's like a 2-pound, extremely healthy, beautiful fish. See you, bud. We're just getting started.
That's right.
I like that though. I like that shallow water bite early. I mean, we just got to this lake. The spinnerbait gives me so much dang confidence and stuff like this. Just sitting there slow rolling it, just thump, 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 thump. You just know every fish in this brush is hearing that or feeling it. Man, it's such a confidence bait. Don't mind that just random floating boat out there. That was my fault, but we'll take care of that later. Come here. Look at that thing run.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, look at that thing run and fight. Jeez.
Yeah, man.
These fish are different here.
Yes, they are.
Dang, that's a nice one too. Oh, he's not hooked. Look at him go. Did you see how much tail walking he just did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, no. Dude, that was the craziest tail walk I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was.
My man was crip walking on these fools. Wow, that's a nicer fish right there. Nice, that's probably like a 4-pounder pushing it. I mean, he is thick, shoulders. He's thick down on his tail. You know they're big when that part starts getting thick right
that's a
there. You
fact.
know what I mean? That's a healthy fish right there. Look at the tail, notice the tail, super beat up. This fish looks like she's about ready to spawn maybe. Wow, let's make sure we let her go right back where she came from, which was right there. All right, girl, right back to your bed. It was like right in there. You know where it is. Oh,
You about to send me off the boat, buddy.
it's kind of a comedy out here. Well, I'd say the spinnerbait bite might be on. And as we get closer to dark, I can only imagine it's gonna get better. Dude, that was such a hard fighting fish. I mean, first of all, from the bite to the hook set, he had already like moved the line like 6 feet.
Yeah.
So that's how fast he was going. Then once I got him like halfway breached, he just tail walked for like 20 feet.
Dude, that was crazy.
I seriously have never seen a fish do that long. Like he just wouldn't stop wagging his tail, and the pressure I was applying was perfect enough to keep him up there. All right, we may use the spinnerbait here in a little while, especially as it starts to get to be like twilight, but I know a bunch of you guys want to see that gold reel, and I'm ready to show it to you. So I paired this thing up. So this is a Googan Muscle. So that's the 8.1 to 1 gear ratio, so the fastest one we offer. And I'm gonna kind of put that into my strategy here, but I paired that up with a Muscle gold rod. So I mean, we've got them like color coded and matching and everything. But got a little juicy jig on there right now. As you guys can see, this part of the lake is just all standing timber, lots of it, thick timber. Got a little black and blue juicy jig, 1/2 ounce with a green pumpkin crack and crawl, whatever you want to call that, to pair it up with. Now I'm just gonna flip this thing all over this brush. Every single twig I'm gonna try to hit with this thing. I think we put 20-pound line on this reel, and we're gonna crank down that 20 pounds of max drag because we might need it in a situation like this. I've also got a clutch tied on to that gold one right there too. So we'll do some actual casting here in a minute. That water's still pretty dang cold, man, I can tell you that.
Dude, you've hit me with a few splashes. Yeah, it ain't warm.
Well, dude, it was 33 degrees this morning.
Yeah, crazy.
Which is crazy because it was 80 like 3 days ago, and it'll be 80 in like
3 days.
Yes. Oh, he came off. Dang, well, I wasn't paying attention. We're running our mouths over here about how bad the water temp is, and here we are getting bites. Not a great hook set. Wasn't a huge fish, probably like a 3 or 4 pounder, but they're in the sticks. We know that. The bass can't really figure out what they want to do, so we can't figure out what we want to do. The dichotomy of man.
Oh,
You like that?
word.
So what I really like about this muscle reel is that fast gear ratio. So I mean, this style of fishing that I'm doing right now, this is where we're moving slow, but I'm making a lot of casts. So like when you have this many piles of brush, I want to constantly be flipping. I kind of let it soak for a couple seconds. I immediately check because a lot of times it'll get eaten on the fall immediately. Then I'll just shake it a couple times. And if I haven't got a bite, I'm gonna reel it back in. So the reason why that high gear ratio is nice is because I don't have to do a lot of reeling to get that lure back. I just make a few cranks, it's here, I grab it, I recast. So it's just really efficient with your time. It's just nice to have that extra gear, you know, that little bit of a turbo gear.
The wind's not blowing, it's easy to keep this thing tracking.
Oh man, that one almost got away. Look at how they dig.
They fight so hard.
They dig, man. Wow, so we got a jig bite going on, shallow in the sticks, and the spinnerbait bite. I like that little black and blue with the green mixture. So once again, these are kind of the smallest fish you're gonna catch out here, but the smallest one is a 2-pound butterball, probably 2.5 pounds because of how thick that fish is. I'm gonna let that fish go right back to where she came from. So fun to set the hook with that heavy rod on that jig. And these reels, guys, they are performing is all I can say. Now see, he wasn't on this outer level. He was a level deep, you know what I mean? Like, so you've got this outer level, then you got that secondary level right there. And that's kind of where that one was. And I wonder if they're like really shallow. All right, folks, we might go back to the jig. We might go back to the spinnerbait. I'm not sure as the evening progresses. Oh, sorry, buddy. But I want to show y'all the actual casting ability of this gold reel. So this is the go-to right here. This is a 7.3 to 1 gear ratio. I've got that paired up with a go-to Googan black rod. I can chuck this clutch. Oh my gosh, fish are busting right there too.
Yes, they keep getting in there.
Yeah, well, so yeah, the casting distance, we'll demonstrate that a little bit better in just a second, but I was playing around with it a little bit earlier to help Jordan film a video, and this thing can chuck. Oh, I just got cranked, but he didn't get it. I mean, like, cranked. Anyways, so let me just bomb one out and kind of just show you guys. I mean, no thumb, boom. And that's a 50-yard cast right there, no problem. Now it's a crankbait, I get it, so you can kind of chuck those anyways, but I've got the centrifugal brakes, 2 of those set on, 2 of the 4. So obviously you got your magnetic brakes on the outside, right? And I've got those turned almost completely off because I've got the centrifugal brakes on the inside turned on. So when you crack this thing open right here, so these guys right here, those are your centrifugal brakes. I've got 2 of those activated, and you always want to activate the ones across from each other to get equal distributions. And the magnetic brakes are basically at the most minimum position, and that's allowing me to just fling this thing. It's basically as far as I want. I can almost spool myself. All in all, I am super impressed with how these things turned out, and I'm proud to stand behind them. Like, I have no worry if you guys are gonna like them or not. I know you will. Right by the boat. You're kidding me.
Dang,
I think that's a good one too.
Yeah?
Yep,
Yeah?
probably.
Oh, there's pliers in it.
Oh, dude, it's might be the biggest one of the day. Yeah, well, okay, it's not a massive one,
There's pliers
but
in it.
oh, he's barely hooked. Oh, he's not even that big. He fooled me, dude. He fooled me. Dude, like kind of cookie cutter size at this point, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, not complaining about it, but a 2.5 pound bass, maybe even pushing 3. All these bass are so healthy. They're so thick throughout their body. Nice. See you, buddy. It's cool to be catching them like all different kinds of ways, you know?
Yeah, it is. It
Like,
really is.
We've spinnerbaited the shallow and flipped some brush with the jig and thrown a crankbait like on the edge of all the shallow stuff. We caught fish doing everything.
Yeah.
So I want to know what they just caught, because Brad was just over there and Jordan was over there hooting and hollering. Hooting and hollering. So I don't know. I'd like to find out. Oh, I feel like a bite. There we go. I may have got bit twice on that. Dude, they all feel good. They all fight hard. They all feel good. No, it's about the same. It's probably like another 3.5. Oh yeah, man. Oh. Okay, maybe it wasn't as big as I said. Dude, I mean, they're all nice. They're all healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
Shoot. Cranking them. We're gonna have a great time out here in L&M. This is just day one. This is not even day one. This is like half day.
Half day.
We just got here. Easy.
I about
Easy,
did it.
boy.
I about did it.
More available. I think that fish was on a bed, dude. Look at these butterballs, man. The only thing I don't like is they're kind of nipping at the bait. This one's barely hooked. And she's got one hook in her face. I could have shook you off, girl, but I just want to see you. All right, well, nothing special here. 2 pound, 2.5 pound butterball. So. Sorry about that.
It's all good,
That
dude.
was a lot bigger of a slash than I was expecting. Why don't you grab a rod too?
All right.
And we'll both just kind of fish from here on out.
I'll do the crankbait.
All right. Yeah,
Nice
good call.
getting.
Now for the people at home, Andrew, your PB currently is...
7 pounds, 3 ounces.
That's right. And that is a breakable PB in this lake.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
Okay, okay.
It don't just come to
You don't think so? Are you
it.
sure?
Just come out of the water. I mean, it might.
Just in case. I'm going to cast at it in case there's one coming in with him. Hey, at least get the skunk out of the boat for you.
That's right.
Get him in there. The smallest one.
You know.
Hey, man, that's okay. But dude, you got the skunk out of the boat.
Skunk out of the boat.
You did not get skunked on this trip. I knew that wasn't going to happen anyways, but it feels good to get that first fish marked off the list.
It does.
No way! Ate it swimming it. You gotta be joking me. This little guy's below the slot limit as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're still eating jig. I was swimming at that time. I was like working it off of all that brush, and I kind of gave it a swam, felt the thump, let it go slack, reeled up, and he was already swimming halfway across the county with it. I appreciate your willingness to eat, my friend, but unfortunately, you're not gonna be left to live in this lake any longer. I'm so sorry, but we'll do that off camera. All right, folks, that's it. We're gonna give this lake a break. We're not gonna hammer these fish too much. This is our first night here, as I said earlier. But over the next 4 days for us, and over the next several uploads that you guys see on the channel, you're gonna see us just absolutely pick this lake apart. There's gonna be tons of challenge videos. There's gonna be straight up fishing videos to try to catch a PB and everything in between. The new Googan combos were sick. I mean, the reels performed great. The gold is obviously just on another level with that centrifugal braking. It's just such a smooth casting reel. And the green, for that entry-level bait caster, I think this thing is awesome. I think it's great. I think we demonstrated that pretty well today. Now, for those of you folks still watching, it's your lucky day. And it's just as an appreciation for those of you folks that watch all the way till the end, I'm going to be giving away one of these new Googan reels. And keep in mind, you can't get those anywhere. They're not even available to be bought until like May. All you have to do, you guys should know what to do by now. Smash the thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribed. That's literally all you have to do. And I will let the winner pick whether they want a green or a gold or, you know, whatever style you want, and I'll give it to you. We got stuff to do this week, man. You got a PB to break. We got a ton more fishing content to capture and get ready for you guys. I hope you all are ready like we are. Thank you for watching, folks. We'll see you next time.